So, I recap what I just recapped to make it even more understandable for dimwits. Listen to me. If you want to dress like a Victorian man, what you call a Victorian/Edwardian man, any decade, and that you have the right height, in other words, max 170. By Victorian man, Edwardian man, any decade, I mean, if you want to dress anything similar to those people, the only way you can dress with purely originals that are purely what a certain category of the people, because many people dress more or less like that, but the only precise category, that meaning country, social class, and even I want to say job, of the people who wore more or less like that clothing, you can find which are purely originals, purely made for that precise country, class, and job, would be if you precisely desire to dress only like a British or either if you want to dress like a British or a French or a German or an Austrian, or maybe, I'm getting risky there, but maybe it's possible an Hungarian, or an American from the northern United States of America, not the southern states, and most likely just a banker, because bankers wore black all the time, or very dark colors, very formal attire for their jobs. This is the only way to only find the original pieces. If you are like me and you want to dress close to those people, but you actually want something a bit different, maybe you don't want upper middle class, or maybe you want upper middle class but not a banker or something else, a less formal job, or you want a formal banker from the upper class or something a little bit different, I would still go with the originals, but know that it will not be completely authentic. Not just because of the class. Sorry. Because if you want to do banker thing I said, it will be completely authentic, except it will not be your perfect size, and usually bankers had it made to measure. They do not have the best tailors, but they had it made to measure. With you it would be a bit ill-fitting, but apart from that, you will actually be wearing something that by 90% of chances either belong to an upper middle class from either Hungary, if you want to do Hungary, or Britain, or blah blah blah. And the only difference being that you only wear the most formal attire. That makes sense. But if you want to do them simply middle class, or like me, more inaccurate way, upper class, even if you want to do British like me, which is or American, which would be the easiest because where most items have survived, you will not be able, if you wear originals, to actually wear what an upper class man back then had worn. What you are wearing was not worn by an upper class member by 99% of chances, because of what I have explained. So now, you might ask me how to do it, how to look like an upper class. I will at least go with the upper class member. Maybe I will go more in details with the upper class member if I stop having a headache, but I will go in very briefly with all the classes, how to transform it, so at least it gives the impression. Because you might then tell me, so if I want to do upper class like you, why not, even if I'm the right size, and even if I want American, where highest percent has survived, because no upper class items have survived, why not, as we have explained, it's completely possible to still remake it, except the dye will not be completely the same. Why not do that? If you have the luck of being into that and of being the right size, get the originals, in my opinion, for a ton of reasons. Reason number one, my philosophy. These garments were created not to be locked in museums. A lot of them, even the common ones, are locked in museums. So obviously if you stumble across something very rare like a non-black suit, I would not wear it personally. I understand if you want to wear it, because also I think we are all going to die within the coming 50 years due to nuclear wars or global warming, so you might as well think, what is the point of keeping it in the museum? Everybody's going to blow each other's up, and it will blow up in the museum as well. But I still, personally, I would not wear it. Like, I purchased the detachable cellular collars, and they were super common, but because they were throwaway collars, almost some of them I have survived, so I purchased them to actually keep them in the collection and not wear them. So, but if it is a common thing, of which we have plenty in museums, the most common is black, formal, upper middle class suits. I think it is better to wear it then, because the museum will not care about it. So you can keep it in your like personal museum. But what is the point? A lot of people keep them in their personal museum, and tons of them and personal museums around the world. Obviously, none of them are exactly alike, but it does not matter. The basic thing, and we exactly know how to make them, because many manuals have survived, and many photographs, and even films. They began having films then. So it was actually designed to be worn and used until it could not be worn anymore. So why not use it? And instead of remaking something which, even if you are vegan, you might think, yes, but if I get the proper habits to eat thingy, whatever, they treat the animals well and all. You never really know how to treat the animals, to be honest. And on top of that, if you think about it 2 seconds, even when they died using chemicals, it pollutes the earth, it adds more pollution, it means that they are using more animals or using more plants if one gets into the cotton and sick. And sick is made with these worms, it is awful, they burn them alive and have babies having carbon. So, and for the leather, obviously a huge problem. So people argue that yes, but leather they never kill an animal except for exotic leathers, but for like calf skin and common leathers, they never kill an animal for the leather. At least if you get it from Europe, where you should get it. There are laws controlling that. They only take leather. They only take it from the animals they kill to eat them. Yes, but then you are fulfilling that industry. So it would be too easy for me to say I'm vegan, but I take the leather that they kill for the meat, so then I'm still participating. Whereas if you have the luck of fitting into an old boot from 1890, obviously the animal was killed in 1890 and was probably tortured then some more. But nobody is going to wear that boot because almost no one can fit in it. And the few people that fit in it, no one is into that. And the few people into that do not fit in it. So in all likelihood, if it is purchased, it is to be put into a like cupboard to show to people, look, I have this boot from 1890. You might as well wear it. Or it will last 1-2 years and then be unwearable. But when it becomes unwearable, you put it in your cupboard like me and show it to people, look, I have this old boot no one can wear anymore. So that is the reason for which I go with the originals. That is the reason for which I go with the originals. Because of my height, I have to get modern pieces, but because of my philosophy, I still get second-hand modern pieces, if that makes sense. And I try to make sure that I'm still at least like 10-20 years old. Including for my footwear. My footwear is new and is not anything like the original, but it's leather, but it's second-hand, so I do not participate in the industry and all. So, now you might tell me, great. So all the that would be the first reason. I would say the moral reason, philosophical reason, ethics reason, whatever you desire to call it. Another reason, which has more to do with again staying realistic. It is already very complicated getting originals, and I feel like, except if you are into making your own stuff, whereby it is a passion to actually make stuff yourself, or if you are very lucky to live really not far, or at least in England or America, where these people, the good reenactors are, or at least in France there are a few of them, or at least you could ship to France from Britain, it is not that far away. But if you are British, or whatever you are, Mexican, I do not care, but whatever you are, whatever race you are, or even if you are a woman, a pygmy black woman who wants to dress like a man, it does not matter what country you are, but in what country you actually reside. So if you reside far away, the shipping cost and even meeting with those people will become more or less completely impossible, and so it will not be made well, you will not really have as much control, and the shipping cost will be enormous. And also, depending upon where you live, the shipping might not even be assured. That is the reason for which I have my things shipped to France, and when my sister comes for holidays, she brings it back. as much as she can, because when I ship it to Dubai, not only it costs more, a bit more, but not that far much,